My father, Dr. H.M. Patel, was an officer of the Indian Civil Service, and he had worked very closely with Sardar, first as partition secretary when the assets of India and Pakistan were to be divided, and subsequently he worked under Sardar to maintain law and order in Delhi during the tragic upheaval that partition brought on. My father believed very strongly that the majority of the people of our country, and particularly the youth, for them, the freedom struggle, the war of independence, was just a memory. And he felt that that struggle must have an important and enduring place in our history. During that period, the country had produced a number of women and men of a high moral caliber and great talent, and it is they that provided the leadership under the inspired guidance of Mahatma Gandhi to lead our country to freedom. A number of films have been made, Gandhi, Nehru, and these have covered the period of the freedom struggle. But none of these films have given Sardar the due recognition that he deserved, or portrayed the important role that he had played in the freedom struggle. It is therefore that my father decided that it was necessary to make a film on Sardar. The first problem was funds, and so he set up the Foundation for Films on India's War of Independence, and with a small band of like-minded persons, went about raising funds. What is not known to many is that the major contribution towards the making of this film was by the farmers of Gujarat. The farmers of Bardoli, where the first Satyagraha movement was born, and the milk producers of Kheda, who were indebted to Sardar for inspiring and leading them to setting up the first and most successful milk cooperative. While the film captures a number of incidents in Sardar's life, there were two of particular importance that my father felt needed to be brought before our people. The first was the birth of the Satyagraha movement in Bardoli. At the time, the farmers had a problem of land revenue assessment with the government, and Sardar decided to implement Gandhiji's belief that a peaceful, non-violent, peaceful satyagraha was a powerful and effective weapon for a subjugated, disarmed nation, provided they had the courage and the spirit for sacrifice and suffering. And it was this spirit of sacrifice and suffering that he inspired in the farmers of Bardoli and led them to victory. This massive victory of the farmers against the mighty empire thereafter inspired confidence all over the country in the effectiveness of a non-violent, peaceful satyagraha. And it was after this event that Sardar Vallabhbhai came to be called Sardar. His ability to inspire the need for sacrifice and suffering amongst the farmers of Bardoli led to the success of the movement. And this matchless victory of the farmers against the mighty empire had a nationwide impact and gave people all over the country the confidence in, in peaceful, non-violent satyagraha. The other issue which my father felt was important, as many take for granted that after partition there was a country, India, but very few know that that what we had, in fact, was a princely India consisting of 562 states. And it was Sardar who was responsible for securing the merger of these princely states virtually without any bloodshed. Sardar's vision of an integrated India was not just the amalgamation of geographical areas, it was much deeper. It was the amalgamation of subnational entities stemming from caste, religion, cultures into a harmonious national identity.
It all started in 1964 with Morarji Desai, Balwant Rai Mehta, Tribhuvan Das, and Sardar's daughter Maniben and son Dayabai. They started the Sardar Patel Memorial Fund with the main idea of taking over his old ancestral home and repairing it, and thereafter maintaining it for future generations. The group took control of Sardar's house, but most of the members of this fund were not living in or around Karamsad except Tribhuvan Das. In about 1975, H.M. Patel, who was the Union Finance Minister, Home Minister, and then later on when he retired, he was the chairman of the Charot Arogya Mandal. He took some foreign guests to Sardar's house in Karamsad, and he was utterly disappointed with the state of the house and the condition around the house. It was just not suitable to take visitors to Sardar's home. So he approached Tribhuvan Das and said, let's find someone who could take over the house, repair it, and thereafter maintain it. So they approached Jethavi Patel, who was an industrialist in Bombay and Karamsad, and who had moved down to Karamsad. He said, why don't you take over this house, repair it, and thereafter maintain it? So Jethavi said, sure, I'll take up the challenge. And right away, with a few of the residents in Karamsad, he formed the Sardar Patel Trust. That was sometime in 1975. The trust right away approached the government, got a grant of about a lakh of rupees, and with some financial help from the Karamsad Cooperative Bank, repaired the house and also cleaned up the surrounding area. And that's how the Sardar Patel Trust was started. Over the years, Jetabe found that not very many visitors were really coming to Sardar's house. So he decided, why don't we build a memorial for Sardar, which wasn't really existing anywhere else in the world? The first step was to acquire land, and the Karamsad village gave 7 acres of land to the trust, which is just outside the village of Karamsad. So when they went to look at the land, they found that 3 acres of land was occupied by illegal occupants. And the 4 acres which were remaining were actually deep valleys which were created over the years by flow of rainwater. So that's one of the reasons why it was not occupied by illegal occupants. Anyway, they took over these 4 acres, started the filling operation, and negotiated a swap arrangement with neighboring farmers. So they gave 3 acres of land, and the trust bought 3 acres elsewhere and exchanged it with the farmers, so they could have a 7-acre plot to build a memorial. As you know, the land acquisition does take a lot of time, and that really took us 4 or 5 years to plan. And sometime in 1991, the Gujarat government was the first to approve the grant of 1 crore. But to get that money took another 3 years, and the money started trickling in sometime in 1994. And you can imagine money started coming in small, small amounts. So we would start construction, and when the money runs out, you stop the construction. Oh, well, it went on till 1996 when all the 1 crore was spent. We invited the then Prime Minister Dev Gowda to visit Karamsad on 31st October, which was the birth anniversary of Sardar Patel. Dev Gowda came, and that was the opportunity we had to explain to him and show him around the construction which had been halted because of lack of funds. And he agreed to release the funds. And you won't believe it, in 1997, March or April, we got the full amount of 1.5 crores. And by 1999, the building was completely ready and the infrastructures were more or less ready. And we planned the inauguration of Sardar's memorial, which is named after both Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and also his brother Veer Vittalbhai Patel. We planned it to inaugurate this in April 2000 at the hands of the then Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And that was done on April 2000. One of the most significant events that took place was in 2003 when Sardar's grandson, Bipin Bhai, who was in Delhi, decided to donate Sardar's personal belongings to our trust. And that ceremony was held sometime in April 2003, and in the presence of the Deputy Prime Minister Shri L.K. Advani and the Gujarat Chief Minister Mr. Narendra Modi.
सरदार के निर्माता H.M. पटेल अगर नहीं होते तो शायद ये फिल्म नहीं बनती। नेहरू और सरदार वेर कंटेम्पररीज। एक बार मैं फिल्म डिवीजन गया था तो कुछ काम के लिए गया था, काम था। तो नेहरू के ऊपर मुझे इतनी डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज मिली, इतना मटेरियल मिला। सरदार के ऊपर बहुत कुछ नहीं मिला, बहुत ही थोड़ा मिला। वो नेहरू के हिसाब से ही जो मिला वो था। तो उस वक्त भी मुझे लग रहा था कि इस आदमी के ऊपर, इस नेता के ऊपर, एक बड़े नेता के ऊपर कुछ अन्याय हुआ है और वो ठीक नहीं। मैंने सोचकर ऐसा दिमाग में लाया कि सरदार का आखिरी हिस्सा जो उनकी जिंदगी का था, देश का विभाजन, उस वक्त उस आदमी ने जो जो कुछ किया, जो जो कुछ होता रहा, उनके साथ नेहरू भी थे, बहुत सारे नेता हमारे थे, जिन्ना भी थे, माउंटबेटन थे। तो मुझे लगा कि ये एक तरह से एक तो कलरफुल पीरियड तो है ही, महत्वपूर्ण है कि एक देश का विभाजन कोई सामान्य घटना नहीं थी, जो बहुत बड़ी घटना थी। और ये भी लगा कि इस वक्त इस आदमी ने जो कुछ शायद संभाला, जो जिम्मेदारी संभाली, जो देश के लिए जो कुछ वो उसने किया, उसके बारे में फिल्म होगी तो अच्छा होगा। मुझे लगा कि उनके जाने के बाद फिल्म निगलेक्ट हुई। अब अगर हो रहा है फिर से तो मुझे बहुत ही खुशी है, होना चाहिए। दो कारण है। एक तो कारण यह है कि सरदार का स्थान जो है इस देश के इतिहास में, वो स्थान सरदार को हमें देना है, वो स्थान उसको मिलना चाहिए। उसको क्या किया उस आदमी ने, वो विभाजन के वक्त पर क्या क्या देखा, क्या क्या किया, कैसा सब निभाया, यह सब लोगों के सामने आना चाहिए, लोगों के सामने रहना चाहिए। तो यही एक फीचर फिल्म है। ये एक तरह से हम बोले तो दस्तावेज बोलते हैं हम जिसको, वैसा है वो। इट्स अ ट्रेजर, इट्स अ हिस्टोरिकल ट्रेजर and it should be revived. In fact, it should be kept alive. I really wish people